Well, the next Death Battle was announced.
Oh, fun. Oh, my favorite.
We like Death Battle. What, don't you like Death Battle?
Yeah, when my character wins.
Well, your character always wins, so...
Knuckles lost.
Huh?
Knuckles lost.
Oh. Okay, was it... I know that was like one of your characters.
Well,
it's not like Sonic or Link like that, or Superman.
Yeah.
That's your character.
No,
You know,
but
it's like character, okay, you like, but it's not your character.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Like,
My character always loses. So.
well, no, you got Godzilla.
Yeah, true. Godzilla did win, so...
I figured he's the one that really mattered. Like,
yeah,
Godzilla. If Godzilla had lost, if Godzilla lost,
yeah,
I'd have been upset too. Like, this is kind of bullshit.
Well, the next one was announced, and it's Wolverine from Marvel Comics versus I never can say his name.
Raiden.
Yeah, I want to say Raiden, sometimes Raiden, but it's
Raiden. Mortal Kombat. Raiden. Metal Gear.
Okay. Raiden, but the funny thing is they both stand for the same thing, right?
Yes.
God of Thunder. Raiden from the Metal Gear series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically Metal Gear Rising.
When that first popped up on Facebook, the first thing I thought was, man, that's random.
Yeah. That's weird. Like, I thought for sure it would have been Freddy Krueger. Would have made sense to me.
I thought it was going to be Baraka. I kind of thought, well, maybe Baraka wasn't a sexy enough matchup for them. So I kind of thought maybe Freddy Krueger. The thing about Freddy, though, is that half it would take... If it takes place in the dream world, he would kick Wolverine's ass pretty easy. So Wolverine would have to find a way to pull him into the real world.
Let alone figure it out.
I didn't know. I just don't know how he would be able to do that.
Yeah, and then that'd be the reason for him losing. The Wolverine didn't know Freddy's connection to the real world, so he wouldn't think to bring him out into the real world.
So
I could see them using that explanation.
So, Raiden, okay, they both slash things, I guess. Wolverine with his claws, Raiden with his sword.
His HF blade.
Okay. Discussing this death battle, my heart wants Raiden to win. I like Wolverine.
I like Wolverine
too.
My heart wants Raiden.
Well, my heart is Raiden, but my head says Wolverine. Because now I thought about it a little bit, and you brought up a good point. Raiden, it is possible that he can beat Wolverine.
Given everything that he has, from the weapons that he's gotten from his defeated foes, he's got that baton made of arms. He's got the big berserker blade that can cut anything, like with a big impact. He's got Monsoon's weapons. He's got 2 blades. He's got Jetstream Sam's sword, which is that red sword that was strong enough to cut through, like, with enough damage, it was strong enough to cut through Armstrong, who... You saw Armstrong. Dude was freaking Kryptonian with those nanomachines.
And the thing about these death battles, too, is that they're theoretically, you're taking 2 characters at their max potential and facing them against each other. With Raiden, all those abilities are awesome. But there's 2 things that Wolverine has that I think make it very difficult for him to win. One is the insane healing.
BS healing factor.
And that's basically what he's about. He has the tremendous healing factor, which almost makes him immortal. And the 2 is the Animanium, which is, I think, the strongest metal in the Marvel Universe. I'm not 100% sure, but does Raiden have enough to put Wolverine down? I just can't see it.
I think it's possible. It's possible. Like what happens if Wolverine loses his head?
Well, he would die.
Would he? Or would he heal from that?
Well, it's still his head. And I don't think he would lose his head because the Animanium...
Because Deadpool heals from it.
Well, remember, the Animanium is grafted to his skull. So I don't know if you can behead him.
Because didn't Deadpool get his healing factor from Wolverine?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I guess technically, if you're going theoretically, yes, but I don't think he can because the Animanium is grafted to a skeleton. If you could cut his neck, but I think you wouldn't be able to drive it through to cut it all the way. I'm not sure. I guess technically yes.
That's where Raiden comes into play because that's not a normal sword. That is if he's going to be using, like, I'm assuming he's going to be using the HF blade or the Jetstream Sam blade.
Right.
Those swords are so highly functioning and created not by conventional means, but by future BS science,
Uh-huh.
like science that we don't have.
Right.
So, and they can, I mean, we're talking about blades that cut through giant metal gears like butter.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we're talking about a character, Raiden, who can pick up 200-ton giant Metal Gear arsenals and chuck them on his side, pick up a blade from that Metal Gear arsenal, and start cutting that Metal Gear in half.
Well, that's again comes with the whole problem when you're taking two characters from two completely different universes
With different
rules. Okay, his sword is amazingly strong, but would this sword from this universe be able to cut through this metal from another universe?
Combined with his strength of being able to lift up all of that.
Combined with Wolverine's metal and his insane healing factor.
Yeah, because I want to know if he loses his head or if he loses a limb, does that get healed like Deadpool? Like, can he pull himself together like Deadpool can? Or is he dead? Like, if Wolverine loses his head, is he dead?
Another factor to go into is, of course, the fighting experience. Wolverine has been around for a long time. He's fought in wars. He's been around for decades. You know, I think he has more fighting. He might have. Does he have more combat experience than Raiden does?
I don't know, because Raiden's had that virtual VR training.
That's another thing. It's like a lot of it is technological, while Logan is kind of actual practice. He's fought in the Civil War,
and Raiden was a child of war. He was actually in wars as a child too.
Yeah, but Logan's been in decades and decades and decades of war.
Raiden's been in fight all his life.
As basically Wolverine has, and Wolverine is a trained samurai as well.
Yeah, and Raiden has gone through the VR training, which basically is a form of training, but it also stimulates your brain to not worry about any thoughts of losing because it's not actually happening, which is what influences them in real battle to think the same thing. That, and Raiden's also a self-trained warrior in the art of swordsmanship, plus probable training from whatever else he got. Plus, dude can lift a sword with his foot and swing it around.
Right.
I mean...
And Wolverine, like I said, he has the combat experience for fighting all these different wars. He's fought alongside Captain America. All the years with the X-Men and the training under Professor Xavier has helped him out even more. So it's fun to think about when you think about all the different combat experiences these guys have.
And because of the cyber suit that Raiden has, he has like a form of superpowers. He has the strength. He has super speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like things like Wolverine's got intense strength, but Wolverine he's a fast character, but he's not super speedy. I don't
not as fast. He does have the Berserker Rage, which he goes into, which makes him nearly unstoppable.
Yeah, but Raiden always manages to keep a cool head in combat. Even as Jack the Ripper, he maintained a composure of coolness and thinking. That's where I kind of think Raiden has a really good chance, because if Logan is going to go all rage and not think about it and just like, I'm going to tear you up, and if Raiden's being cool-headed, isn't that going to give him an edge just to be able to sneak up on him?
Well, maybe not. I mean, when Wolverine goes all out, he is pretty much a war machine. And the thing is that okay, can Raiden do enough damage to keep Wolverine down? And another thing, can Raiden take the damage from Wolverine? Because that's another thing too. Because I don't know if Raiden he has a healing ability, but it's not
clearly Raiden can't take as much abuse as Wolverine can. Be a healing factor. Raiden has the nanomachines to suppress damage and heal it, and like get the healing going. He's got artificial blood, so he doesn't have to worry about it. He can lose limbs and just shrug it off like whatever.
That is true. He did stop correct me if I'm wrong, in Metal Gear Solid 4, he stopped
He stopped
a Metal Gear from
he stopped the whole continent.
From crushing Snake. So
with just one arm.
And he fought a whole group of guys with no arms with a sword stuck in his mouth.
So yeah,
I think Raiden's gonna lose a few limbs, but he might still be able to pull it off.
If anything, like I want to say Raiden might win, and probably that's gonna be how it is. He's gonna be a few limbs short, but that's probably what's gonna happen. Because
you see Wolverine dead, and there's Raiden with just a head with a sword on top,
Because actually, that's an interesting thing. Like, if Wolverine loses limbs, I don't think he can shrug that off like Raiden can.
Well, that's the thing, though. I don't know because I don't think Wolverine's ever actually lost a limb. I may be wrong. I'm not a Wolverine.
We might have to look up.
I have to look.
How
it
has
up.
Wolverine lost fights before?
He's just, I guess, went up against a more powerful opponent. But this is a guy who fights the Hulk routinely, and man, that's a good question. Yeah, I know he's lost before. You know, he lost.
And you gotta
he
remember,
lost to Magneto, but Magneto yanked the adamantium out of his skin.
And you got to remember when Raiden blocked that continent, that was before he got the badass armor. That was at his earliest.
Mm-hmm.
So this is before he, like, a few years before he got his revengeance abilities.
I know, and I hope there is a Wolverine expert who knows more than we do about it. But it's an interesting thought. The more I think about it, I think it's going to be an interesting fight, and it's a little more even than I thought it was.
Well, I'm just concerned. Like, can the blades that Raiden has cut through the adamantium with the blade that he's using?
A lot of people, I think, are immediately giving this to Wolverine because I don't think they know Raiden as well as Wolverine does.
But also, we know it's just common knowledge that Wolverine does have a BS healing factor that is really broken and abused.
Right.
And he's got the adamantium, which is also kind of broken and abused in Marvel's universe.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, when you're taking a character from the Marvel universe and taking a character from the Metal Gear universe and you put them together, and that's another thing I think what people need to understand too. While ScrewAttack is a major company, at the end of the day, these death battles, they're just fan videos.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing official. It's not. It wouldn't be unless you get Hideo Kojima, who's the creator of Raiden. And then you got Chris Claremont, who was the creator of, I think the man who created Wolverine. Sit them down in a room together, and they hash
and Stanley,
it
out.
And
Stanley,
Stanley,
just to keep everything cool.
Well, yeah, and you got these guys together in a room, and they hashed it out and talked it out. Okay, who would win this fight? You know, and they would come to a mutual agreement. Then it would come from an official source. These ones, though, like I said, at the end, they're fan videos, and they just taking these two characters, put them together, and seeing what we think hypothetically what would happen.
So, in my heart, I want Raiden to win. And logically, I can come up with ways for Raiden to win.
Right.
But in my head, I think Wolverine's going to win on the grounds because he fights the Hulk routinely. And the Hulk is, like, probably the best shot Marvel's got at anything. And...
well, the strongest hero.
Yeah,
definitely.
The strongest hero. And he has a BS healing factor, which everybody knows is abused. He's got the adamantium, which is also equally as abused and kind of what it is. So
the healing factor. I'm sorry. The healing factor, the adamantium, the combat experience.
Like I wouldn't say his combat experience is more or less of Raiden's because they've both gone through their own scenarios, so they're both as capable.
Right, and you're comparing that to Raiden with his suit, his weaponry, his swords, his combat experience as well, his strength, his speed. So,
if anything, what I think Raiden can do is, like, while Raiden probably wouldn't be able to take as much abuse as Wolverine can, he can take it better than Wolverine can. Because when Wolverine gets damaged, he feels it.
Oh, he does feel it.
Like, Raiden doesn't have that problem. Like, Raiden can lose a limb, shrug it off, and, like, still keep going in the fight like he didn't lose the limb at all.
Right.
Wolverine, when you damage him or hurt him, he's going to feel it.
He's going to feel it for a moment before it heals up. That is true.